In America, consider a deadline just there and strive to meet it. Do not go past it. I am not going to say there are not a couple deadlines that are sometimes flexible, but you can get yourself into trouble by ignoring a deadline. You will never get into trouble if you pay attention to that deadline and turn your stuff in on time. You will have a good reputation with your teachers. They will think you're hardworking. You're obviously trying to do what you're here to do, get your education. When it comes to grading deadlines, turning in your final grades, turning in student evaluations, all those numerous things that you have to do for your teaching, you need to meet those deadlines, because you put the whole university at a stop when you don't meet your deadlines. And then they're waiting on you. And then they're going to start putting pressure on you. And if you don't meet a number of deadlines, you may lose your job. America, it's a different culture. We are very big. You know, you work hard, you meet your deadlines, you're punctual, you'll be fine. But you do have to just come here with that expectation. America may not be like the home country where things may be more relaxed. And I love to relax at home and be that way when I'm at home and I'm in a place where I can be casual. Everyone likes to be able to relax, but when it comes to your deadlines, do not. Make sure you meet them. If that means you have to stay up all night to meet your deadline, you stay up all night. I have done that a number of times, but you meet your deadline. Okay? One night is probably not going to kill you. Buy a cup of coffee the next day. You'll get through it, and then you can get some rest, usually on the weekends. You'll be okay. But just know that deadline is there. And that you're expected to meet it, and you're expected to work on your own to meet it. There's not going to be people there just watching you. There really aren't going to be people there watching you. You have to have that kind of self-driven, self-disciplining attitude when you come here, or you're going to find it very hard. Mm-hmm. For me, the best thing I do is I keep good records. I have a daily to-do list. When I wake up in the morning, I just grab a sheet of paper. It doesn't have to be like a formal sheet of paper. I just grab me a sheet of paper off my printer, and I write down the little things I have to do that day. My errands I have to run, what I have to do for my class. Do I have a lesson plan I need to prepare? Do I need to enter these grades? Do I need to grade this? And I just write me a little list. And I fold it up and I put it in my back pocket, or I put it in my purse, and it's there. And I can check things off. A to-do list is a great start. Another thing is work a little bit every day. For instance, in a graduate course, pretty much expect that you are going to have a large final project, either a paper or some kind of web project or some kind of teamwork, and you're not going to have your teacher writing you the whole time. They just expect you to turn it in on that final day of the class, and it'll be a 25-page paper. You have to make sure you get it done. They're not going to ask you to turn in an outline. They're not going to ask for a paper proposal. They'll just expect you to have it ready on that day. So you have 3 months or so to get it done. It's much easier for you if during the first month of class you're already thinking ahead, well, this might be an idea. Jot down some ideas. Whenever they come to you, just jot down some ideas. The second month, you need to go ahead and start doing your research. Go to the library, make sure you get online, visit those databases, get any articles you need, do your research. The third month, you need to start writing, and certainly by 2 weeks ahead of time, you need to have started some kind of writing, even if it's just an introduction and conclusion or a couple body paragraphs. Like I said, you can do those all-nighters. I have done those all-nighters when I had so much going on to get through your paper. And you know your own rhythms. You know what you're good at. You know if you can write it, if it takes you a month to write it, or if you can do it in a week. And some people can do it in a week. But you need to know what that is and prepare for it and say, okay, if I have a paper due the 23rd of March, for instance, if I have a paper due the 23rd of March, that week and all of the weekend before it, I don't need to plan anything because I'm going to be busy. I'm going to be working, doing my final edits, this sort of thing, and plan on that. And if you plan stages at a time, keep your to-do list, and know where you're at, then you will have an easier time meeting the deadlines. One other thing that I think is really important is being a self-advocate. And when I say be a self-advocate, I've already said no one's watching out for you but you. But you can have someone help you along if they're aware of what you're going through. If you have a favorite professor, someone you're working with, it may be someone who will help you with your thesis or your dissertation, someone who's helping you in your teaching even, someone who might substitute for you. They can help you meet those deadlines. If you say, hey, can you remind me I have to do this, by this date or something, and they'll give you those reminders quite often. Or they'll help you, hey, don't forget, this sort of thing. So have someone else also be kind of that extra person to be your memory when you're forgetting things, and they're good, and they're often emotional support as well. You'll often develop really good relationships with those people. So.